In 2021, NBC employees went on a nationwide strike demanding an 8% salary increment and for all workers on 1-month contracts to be employed on a full-time basis. The strike was held on the no work, no pay rule, which led to the workers having to pay NBC back for the time they were on strike, which was for over a month. The deductions of the employees' salaries, which in some cases resulted in a zero pay, had a devastating effect on their livelihoods. And the Director General says, though technically the NBC implemented the agreed upon strike rule of the no work, no pay, the broadcaster could have considered a less painful sanction.
Hindsight is always a 50-50. Could one have done this differently? Most probably, if one reflects now, there could have been different ways through which the same could have been. But the process as it stood at the time up to where it got to where it was a process that was legally sanctioned by all sides, signed for as well.
Were we right all along during the strike? Maybe not. Did we make mistakes? Yes, we did mistakes. Could we have handled certain things better? Yes, because our primary responsibility should have been to look after our people. But then we had an issue like the DG said before. Things became very emotive because we had a union that was also trying to see that it's working in the best interest of its workers, which was not necessarily in the best interest of the organization.
Parliamentary Standing Committee member on Human Resources, Ephraim Nkongo, reminded the NBC team that it should have taken into consideration the human aspect before decisions were taken.
The implementation of no work, no pay did not say, let's deduct for 7 months, for example, or let's deduct your whole salary, for example. I think there we must agree, and all of us as human beings, just imagine, that will be taken as if you have punished me for, voting or going into the process of, demanding what I think was my right. I think there we must all agree to say, yes, it's in principle to say, yes, no work, no pay, it's agreed. But the implementation, I think that's where I have a problem. And I think I asked even before to say, I think there is also a rule perhaps that said you can't deduct the salary certain percentage.
The meeting ended in a mutually respectful manner, unlike the first consultations, which was somehow belligerent. Emil Gamro Seibeb, NBC News, Windhoek.